Oh, hello. Hi, guys. Again, this is Michael, who had the pleasure to meet you guys all in the very beginning of the semester. And now we are having another Wednesday live sharing group. Um, which I personally consider to be just a relaxing group. If you want, even though we do learn things here, I hope it'll be actually every bit as valuable as things you would learn in class. But obviously, this week has been hectic for many of you. Basically, I know all the names of all your five people. Well, we have another person, almost like five and a half, but for time's sake, I won't call you out separately. But I just so appreciate you guys having a unusual week and making sacrifice to go through it. So that's why I am doing a video so that you could experience as if you could experience us together again remotely. And hopefully starting next week, we'll be back to normal, like in-person meet, which is all I hope for in the world, to see you guys all over again. And last time we shared about uh, life. Yeah, the almost the essence of it from a movie called Dog. Um, the things worth fighting for, worth loving for, what makes life life, what makes it hard, what makes it worthwhile, worth the hardness. And obviously, I want to continue the conversation, regardless of how and where each of us are in life stages or in our mentality, religious views, or any of that. I think we were here physically together. That this very fact would mean that we have much more in common than not. So I'm just gonna kick us off casually. Um, you know, ever since I moved to Arizona, the big issue is housing, and having a space of your own has been quite difficult. And once I have it, I appreciate so much more because it cost me a lot to get into one. Um, so it's actually the first time in my life that I had this reflection about space. Everybody say space. Space was a simple word for a person when he or she is young, but later on you find space is more than just space, and space can be mental, physical, spiritual, can be tangible, yet it can be abstract. For example, a person might have an inner circle uh, of like friends or close members of family who make up who became his or her confidant. I don't know if I said that word super correctly, but confidant or somebody you tell secrets to, so to speak. And that is called a inner circle. So that is a space in abstract. Yet when one day you guys move out of your parents' home, you would obviously have your own space. And that is your new physical space. So space is private. Space always does have this attribute of privateness to it. I don't mean to be like, I don't mean to go super scholarly on this. This is all coming out of a joke and out of some funny things. Um, I'm just gonna tell you, in my space, which has a living room, thank God, fortunately, but it's also kind of hollow. And when I do chores here, when I cook, I kind of need something to listen to, to feel the background. Uh, like some BGM is what I need. Yet I don't like to listen to pop music too loud for me. So I started to tuning into all those election campaigns videos, or some are even live while I was cooking it. And something really interesting happened because what happens is that I thought, I'm not going to name specific persons, but I thought out of the two candidates for the president, I would actually love one person much more than the other. My values and my demeanor would fit much more better with a certain person and everything. And embarrassing enough, later on, I caught myself and I find myself listening to another candidate other than what I originally thought is my candidate. I listen to that person so much more often, like over 95%, so to speak. That was like a shock to me. What do you guys think? Have you ever guys had incidences where you thought you thought you would definitely love pick A, but unconsciously, before you know it, you've been repeatedly picking B. Anybody have ever had that experience? So that's what I've been experiencing. It's as if my mind and my body are making different choices. And so to speak, the rational me and the how do you say, emotional me or the non-rational me, they are differing in what they choose. And obviously the non-rational me ended up winning here. This is a such big shock, but I think I'm happy to hear any of you uh, on the opinion of you guys personally on this matter, because I'm so curious. But for me, upon further reflection, I feel like here's the deal. I like that person as a background noise source, strictly confined to my iPhone, playing while I was cooking, keeping me company as I was doing chores, laboring. But I would not, for $1,000,000, have him be invited into my living room. I won't. It feels like a horror movie to me because I feel like he would break a lot of China in here. I mean, both literally and figuratively. I'd rather have that non-interesting person into my living space. It'll break much less China, I'm sure. Maybe the person would even bring a visiting gift, given the politeness of that certain person. So it's really funny, uh, human preferences. And don't you guys think? It's something economists, I was from economics, so apart from the math, economists also have this big fascination about people's preferences. So I feel like I have this such complex preferences. I would prefer one candidate living in my phone, yet I would definitely only invite another candidate in person to my living space if I have to. And I don't know why they would come because I'm not voting this year. Um, so what do you guys think? I thought it's so fascinating, even finding new things about myself. Um, so this would revolve into a even bigger issue, like even a much more important, much more interesting and relevant question and choice that we always make, that we always say. Um, I think almost the most frequent word uh, that we use in daily life is actually very simple. The four-letter word, like. I like ramen noodles. I like pizza. Oh, I don't like those mashed potatoes. I hate salad. I don't like them. Like. What do you guys think about like? I feel this is fascinating to me because growing up in a rural, a small town of Asia, where the people seems to be a little bit dull in their mind, and they never, as far as I can remember, we never used the word like growing up. As like, it's only after I moved into the cities, the first time I heard people say like, I was like, that's an interesting word to me, actually. I don't know. I feel like some Asian families here in America, especially if you guys are an only second generation or not super native here, you also don't express the word like as much as the people who's always been here. And that's because we one of among many things we had a less of we had more constraints in our family economy. We had less resources growing up, and where our family as a Asian family and everything, we face a little bit more difficulties financially and maybe in other ways too, which does not would always grant us the a position to make known our preferences. Um, is what I suspect. Not claiming to be perfectly right, but um, so I'm just saying, but it gets to a point where we get to say we like and dislike. Um, but that's my 20s. Now that I go after 30, uh, what I try to know more about this thing called like, mm, on a deeper psychological level. But then I found out more and more. I found out that I heard it said that like, if A likes B, A likes B. Doesn't have to be a reason, or maybe there is not a clear reason. If B likes A, B likes C, B likes C. And there could be no clear reason either. So next time, if you like John and John only has crush on Sue, not you, don't ever be, too down on yourself. It has no reason. It doesn't have to be. And it couldn't probably be more clear, even if you dig into it. You, mm, I find it very time consuming and sometimes futile to dig into why a certain person doesn't like you that much, doesn't like you as much as you would want him to. Just exactly like out of the two presidential candidates, I like one more than another. And what there's not much of a reason to it. I mean, sometimes there could be a very obvious reasons, but I think there are a quite chunk of human encounter in our life we just don't know um, whether or not we how the liking happens. But we also don't have to be bondaged by it. So what I mean is that liking doesn't have to be in the behind the wheel of your life. It doesn't have to hold the like Mr. Like doesn't have to Mr. Like or dislike doesn't have to be the figure holding the knife in your life to make your decisions. Doesn't always have to be. I don't like I don't like cheese steaks, so I always make the decision to not eat them. That I give it the decision, but for matters like more complicated, I don't just let the like dislike preference of mine make my life decision. You know what I mean? Like, for example, when I first started out to seeing you guys and I wanna have you guys join me. I want to have I'm so excited to see you all. and share life together, um, I wouldn't be thinking like, oh, I would only recruit. I mean, I hope I only get certain kinds of people. I would exclude some other kinds of people, black people or whatever people, or um, just for example, yeah. Even though I might have that tendency, actually, I might unconsciously to avoid certain kind of people if especially if person had a previous bad experience with that people, they saw that. But then in cases like this, I don't like the like factor. I don't let the like factor dominate my choice uh, over my goal, over a, so to speak, um, a better future, a better version of future. Um, this is also part of my teaching of my mentors to me. I see a lot of mentors. You guys might have too, and it doesn't even have to be a real person. Some people read books. I'm sure every one of you might have your own example to look up to. And for me personally, among many things, books, again, this you don't have to be a deep Christian, but I'm just saying for me, I used to read the history and literature before, sometimes, from Jesus Christ or other people as like a person who had this paradigm philosophy of saying and doing things in life. And I remember one line that's famous, he said, is whoever is not against you is for you. Whoever is not against you is for you. This is something he said while he was on his mission. He's calling life to do something to to push to spread and push the boundaries and make his cause. I think that's true for everybody. Everybody has a cause calling to make it happen in life. And during this process, uh, especially in the very beginning, the hard part, you do want to unite all the forces that are for you, for your goal, for your purpose, for your meaning, for your destiny, uh, to push forward with you together side by side, right? You don't want more enemies than allies. Um, but it's easier said than done because the criteria is so hard to be set. You don't know what criteria you set to say, oh, this would, if they're met, that means these are friends. If they're not met, that means they're enemies of it. But see, the statement I just shared says, whoever is not against us is for us. That's a very low threshold for our allies. Um, it's also quite necessary when your goal is very big and very taking a lot of it takes definitely a lot of willpower and efforts or anything else or everything of so sometimes it's not enough uh, for you to work alone. You need friends, you need allies, you need people who are for you. And who are for you? It says whoever is not against you. So that's a very broad bracket mm, to circle as many people as possible into your camp, so to speak. It's not always easy to do these days. I mean, I definitely do not claim to have been perfect in that. But I'm happy to keep growing with you guys together, and we could see how we go with that and see if you even agree with that. And even in the future, if you ever feel like you have found some criteria for you that works, yeah, please let us know, let me know, and we'll definitely learn life together. Um, it was this this kind of these kind of philosophies in general would actually create a very, if you follow these policies in your life, it will create a very tolerant environment around you, for you, and for your friends, which is why we are in a university right now. We are a university in a society is a very special place where education can happen. Education is not only about taking tests, it's also about having this aroma, this atmosphere of inclusiveness and intellectual freedom, um, freedom of will, freedom to explore, spiritual growth, mental stability. This is a very good, it takes a lot of effort for any society to have such an environment. That is called university. Education is really precious, uh, especially in the long run with by principle, because in the long run, education is a driving force for any society to create value, to move people up and enlighten people and make good citizens out of normal people. But education is also precious. In my economics term, it's also pricey in terms of maintaining it. It's not only talking about the financial resources need to maintain a good vibe and infrastructure for education. It's also talking about um, maintaining education means the society has to be stable enough, um, has to have a very agreed upon respect for knowledge. For example, it's like 50 years ago in Asia, specifically in the country of China, uh, where many politically political uh, extremists rise up in the whole country, and they claimed all the people with glasses, all the people who try to learn knowledge, they're traitors, and they are the harm. They are the harmful bugs to the society, and they basically um, put every one of those knowledge learners. This would like include too many people, definitely college professors and college students. They would put them on trial. They would nail them across, send them to the wilderness to work on farms uh, of labor. So that's when a society has lost respect of education. It has also lost respect of knowledge. That is why people could not think. There's no room to think. And if one people or even half of mankind could not think, that would be a very catastrophic event. Um, which is why I am so valuing our time together. Is because basically we could think together um, as we as we do adulting together. And I hope to be doing that and doing with that with you guys is predestined. With each of the six of you is definitely predestined, and we are hoping to see more people, and um, no two persons meet without purpose. So this is our Wednesday's gathering, this time in remote. and good luck on everybody's exams. Well, I do have a announcement to announce. Just because you guys had such a heavy load week, so did I, which was last week actually. Um, but this week it's a different kind of situation for us, but for us as grad students. But I would love actually to invite you guys to come over to my place, which is actually newly updated. Um, very grateful. Something happened that that this place got a upgrade, and I'm just loving this new place. And I'd love to, if anyone is free, when you are free, definitely let me know. Uh, Fridays at 6 p.m. I would love to invite you guys here, come over to just hang out in person, or just share a little bit what we're passionate about, or even if you're reading a book recently, or you something touches you, you can feel free to share. If you guys really don't have that particular thing to share, I will, and I'm gonna give you a mini tour of my limited space, as well as make delicious Asian food. Um, um, I don't know your guys' schedule on Friday, but Fridays 6 p.m. I thought that would be actually be the best time. Uh, so actually feel free to let me know. And we do have, if I try, we do provide transportation from here to campus. By the way, this is only one block, literally on the side of the campus to the east direction. Anyway, we do provide transportation back campus if you want. It would it can last 1 hour if you guys are really busy. Doesn't have to be longer than that. Although it could, although we could go or if you want to. Um, so let me know. And ironically, I began to invite people right after I gave a speech about how inner space is selective and private. But it'll be my honor to receive you all and officially, well, second time to welcome you um, to celebrate our destined meet. All right. Have a very good rest of the week. Good luck on all the exams. Um, love your life. Be a light and shine bright. And we'll be talking soon. Have a good one, guys.